big boy.
Whole lot of nostalgic goodness.
The Full Drive Show is back again.
Pretty average, but we've got plans.
Colour shifting, dark bronze.
Okay, now this is a budget build, and what that means...
Well, if you've made it this far, then chances are you are a devout Sam Young 4x4 subscriber, a fan, part of the family, and a part of the reason I can keep doing this week in, week out. The end of 2024 is here, and it has been full of some really high highs and some dramatically low lows. And this episode, we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of things. For starters, it's going to be a humongous thank you to each and every one of you guys. A massive shout out to all the brands that have made this possible. I have some life-changing news that I have been keeping secret from you guys that is going to absolutely turn 2025 on its head. We're also going to touch on the recently discovered and unearthed full drive industry Snitch. This episode is going to be a big one. At the end of the day, it's a celebration. 2024 was absolutely massive and life-changing, and next year is going to be even more of the same secret sauce. Life-changing, exciting stuff. Let's start off with a massive thank you. Now, to kick things off, this channel would be nothing without the people that make it possible. The fans, the viewers, the commenters, the subscribers, the followers. Long and short of it is you guys. I owe everything I do. The entire reason we're here is all because of you guys. We have grown so much this year, it's crazy. We've got 22,000 new followers on TikTok, I think 18,000 new followers on Instagram, nearly 10,000 new subscribers on YouTube, well over 2 million views for 2024 on YouTube as well. It's been an absolutely stonking year of growth, activations, all the full drive shows. We did both the Sydney shows, the Brisbane show, the Melbourne show. You guys absolutely went ballistic over it. We launched Lost Some Living this year, which has absolutely gone gangbusters. Surprised absolutely all of us that are involved with that project in the uptake of it, I guess. It was really actually quite a humbling experience. It was a little project that Max and I sort of had that we wanted to do, and I guess finally come out with some clothing that would be worn by people other than the full drive yeehaw cowboys, and I think we've done just that. But it's been a huge year, and it wouldn't have been possible without you guys, but also without a lot of the brands that we partner with make it all possible, I guess. Week in, week out, they are helping me pay my bills, helping build these cars that you guys love to see, helping me give back to you guys through giveaways. We've got companies like here, Daci, Maxxis, ROH Wheels, Lightforce, Chemical Guys, iTech World, all stuck up, HD Automotive, Polaris, and even some brands that have just joined recently for the 2025 season. We've got people like SP Tools, we've got people like Superior Engineering, we've got people like Mark's Forward Drive and Harrop for all their lockers, and a whole plethora of companies that have come together to make this whole little schmozzle that we call the YouTube channel actually function as a unit. And you'll probably notice that all the brands that I just mentioned are market leading, country leading, hugely respected businesses. No, Temu and garbage brands that sell garbage products. These are all well-renowned, really trustworthy brands, and we pride ourselves on working with exclusively those companies and forming long-form relationships with them so we can genuinely give you guys fantastic advice and great product advice as well. It's been massive. In terms of builds, we bought the Sierra, we sold the Sierra.
Bye, have a great time.
The budget build sort of tied us over in between a little bit of a lull whilst the 80 series wasn't progressing and we couldn't quite do anything with the GQ just yet. We announced the GQ and we've dived straight into that, and that has been an absolutely monumental project so far. The start of next year, and I guess most of Q1 next year is going to be a whole lot of GQ gear. We've got interior bits and pieces, the engine's got to go in, all the suspensions coming out, all the new suspensions going in, we've got a whole bunch of wiring to do, we've got a whole bunch of touring stuff to do, 12-volt fit out, like that project we only just scratched the surface of. The 80 series you would have seen as well. We got it off-road, we found a heap of little gremlins.
It's pretty up. It's pretty bad.
We brought it back, we doubled down, we fixed them all, we took it back off-road wheeling with our boys Alec, TJ from TJ and Mac, Hayden, a couple of other lads, and it surprised us all. has been a dream project, I guess. This is like when people say, oh, what's your dream car? What would you build? It's pretty much this, right? So it was really cool to actually get it on the beach, abuse some sand, on the tracks, abuse some tracks, abuse the engine, abuse myself, you know how these things go. And this thing has just been an absolute hoot every time I've gotten to take it out. Hopefully 2025 holds a lot more trips for this thing and also a lot of touring with the GQ. That would be really quite nice. In terms of next year's projects, you're gonna hopefully see a lot more of this. We've got to finish the GQ and get that thing off road. And just outside the shed is a brand new project car that we haven't announced yet. You're gonna have to sit on your hands and wait for that. It is nostalgia overload. Very few of you guys would probably remember the first ever four-wheel drive I bought, the thing that sort of started this whole addiction. If you do remember what that is, that gives you a little clue as to what this next project's gonna be all about. But it's a little bit of a throw to my first ever four-wheel drive experience, and I think you guys are absolutely gonna froth that. Anyway, let's go talk about this life-changing 2025 news, because it's been really hard to keep this secret from you guys. You guys pretty much know everything that's going on in my life. Except for this. Now the secret, this has been a really tough one to keep under wraps actually. We're sitting next to the GQ for this one. We've got it hiding in the back here. Speaking of the GQ, how epic is that Donnelly's engine that we built? I cannot wait to get this thing in the new year. Installed, fitted up, tuned up. This is gonna be such a sick car. But anyway, secret time, let's talk about it. Now, there's no denying 2024 was full of highs and lows. And what I'm about to show you guys is definitely one of the highlights of this year, next year, my life forever, I dare say. But that's not to say that this year wasn't without its low points too. You probably remember a few months ago, we got real honest and serious with you guys and just spoke about how, I guess we sort of lost our motivation and direction of the channel, and it was during a weird time where the 79 content wasn't really hitting the mark. We couldn't quite announce the GQ yet. The 80 series was in this weird lull where it needed some work done, but we just didn't have the time or the money at that stage. And we were doing the budget build to sort of get us through that. But it was tricky. You know, YouTube does take its toll. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I know it sounds ridiculous, like, oh, Sam, you're living the dream job, what the hell? But when you're a one-man operator, it is quite difficult to stay on top of, you know, all your admin work, all the filming commitments, actually building the cars, keeping things registered, which is not necessarily made easy, as you're about to find out about. But anyway, I think we got back on track towards the end of this year. We're back loving what we're doing. Now we've got the shed, now that we've moved up to the sunny coast from Sydney, all these things combined together are making life way, way better. And then it comes to this. Now this is something I've been keeping secret for around 7 months. And you don't have very long to announce these things. You've got about a 9-month window, and you're probably already guessing as to what that announcement is, and that is, not only are we bringing Max onto the channel a little bit more next year, but we are going to be bringing a helper in the form of a mini young 4x4. So that is happening. That is crazy. We've known for a while. I just didn't want to announce it too early, I guess. And I don't really do much personal, life updates on here, but that's probably the biggest one. And, I want you guys to be as excited for it as I am. It's going to be life-changing, bone-rattling, absolutely turn everything upside down on its head and freak me the f*** out, but in the best possible way. So come end of Jan, start of Feb, end of Feb, I don't know, somewhere around there, there's going to be a little rugrat crawling around the shed. Maybe not crawling around, it's pretty filthy in here, but hanging out with us, helping work on the cars, coming away on some trips. He's going to be at the four-wheel drive shows. Little baby boy, really, really excited for that. We've got a great support network around us, so I think he is going to come into a really supportive, fantastic world of four-wheel drives and adventures and you guys, and it's just going to be so epic and heartwarming. So that is news. We've been keeping this secret for a while. The past couple of four-wheel drive shows we've known, a lot of the end of this year we've known. So yeah, it's one of those things. I know Axel's very excited by all this as well, but that's the exciting news that's been a secret for 7 or so months. Next up, let's talk about what everyone wants to know, and that is what I've been posting online. The four-wheel drive industry rap, if you will. Okay, now this is a really tricky one because obviously I want to inform you guys of everything that's happened as of late and some pretty spicy information that we found out, but Daddy also doesn't want to get sued, you know, so we're going to tread carefully. But you would probably remember how we had a heap of issues with the 80 series registration getting cancelled from, you know, getting the rug pulled out from under us, getting the 80 series rego cancelled when the thing was mid-build, still in pieces, not even on the road. And originally we thought it was probably just a disgruntled subscriber or, you know, someone like that or whatever. But it's recently come into light that we believe and we think that someone in the industry has actually been emailing with the transport inspectors directly and had attached screenshots in an email of the 80 series and basically dobbed us in that way. And this is crazy because the person that's done this was someone that we've filmed a couple of videos for in the original 80 series dyno tuning. Running a couple of giveaways that they'd done, which seem to be not overly legitimate now that we've dug deeper and we've spoken to other people from, you know, Aaron from Precision Racing and a couple of other people have come forward and said, you know, the giveaways that he's run are completely falsified and whatever, but that's beside the point. The end result of what we think happened is basically the email was sent, and this is in the timeline of things. Email was sent, photo of the 80 series halfway through the build at Kinsella's about 18 months ago with, you know, a bit of body of text. And this email was sent from their work computer. And as a subsequent result, 4 weeks later, now whether it's a coincidence or not, it's hard to tell. But as a result, the 80 series registration was cancelled. There's a full-scale compliance investigation opened against me, dating back, you know, 4 or 5 years of vehicle ownership. Every car I'd ever sold, every bike I'd ever owned and sold. The historic car club that the 80 series was registered under at the time got shut down. About 150 registrations were stripped and cancelled. The car club was blacklisted, can't be re-registered, and the 80 series can't be registered in New South Wales anymore. This was all off the back of what we believe that email to transport. Obviously, yeah, if your vehicle's on historic rego, it needs to be period correct, original and unmodified. And at the time that we put the 80 series on historic plates, it was just that. It was a completely stock vehicle. And silly me, we left the plates on when we started the build, and obviously we were building that car to eventually be fully modified and on full rego so that it could be street legal. And the intention was never to drive that thing on historic rego when it was modified. I mean, it was going to be in the build for sort of 10 months. So we didn't really think much of it, but apparently we ruffled some feathers. And this is someone that we'd done work with, someone that we thought were mates, someone that only a couple of weeks ago had commented on a YouTube video offering up a product that they sold for the new GQ build, and then to find this out is just crazy. Now, anyway, I'm not going to name names. You guys, you know, the internet and the comments and the TikTok and stuff, you guys, you know what to do. You guys know how to find this person. It's not that hard. And unfortunately, a lot of people that we've spoken to since sort of chatting about this and discovering this have had horrific experiences with this business. You know, and Aaron from Precision Racing in Sydney even came forward and gave me a whole bunch of different examples of some really bad business dealings and falsified giveaways and, you know, announcing the winner as Tony B from New South Wales and then Tony T from Queensland, and then finding out that someone under an alias was just selling the giveaway car on car sales and, you know, doing a cash run. But it's crazy. So all I'm going to say is be very careful where you post your plates online. Be very careful of which businesses you trust. This particular one does a lot of four-wheel drive modification parts and flat pack bar work and stuff for four-wheel drive, so it's crazy that they'd bite the hand that's feeding them, but it is what it is. And just be careful, guys, because yeah, I guess at the end of the day, you just really can't trust anyone, which is a shame, but it is just the way of the world now. So, you know, whether their email did actually lead to the investigation or not, whether we were doomed from the start or not, maybe the 80 series was just so ridiculous that it was drawing the wrong kind of attention anyway. I guess we're never going to know. It's going to be impossible to find out, you know. Transport and the government agencies are not forthcoming with information, sadly. But yeah, just an err on the side of caution. That's all I'm going to say to you guys. Hence why we're now building the GQ, which is going to be, you know, legal, nationwide, reliable, simple, under the radar vehicle. Because yeah, that's just the way the cookies crumbled, unfortunately. But anyway, that's enough waffling. It's enough sad stuff. I'm going to give you guys a quick shed tour because I'm really stoked on how this is all coming up. And then we're done. Last shoot of 2024, bring on 2025. Before we say adios to 2024, I want to give you guys a quick run through of the new shed. This place is fundamentally changed everything, being able to store cars safely, work on cars, and not be taking up space and, you know, occupying hoists in people's workshops has been just a fundamental game changer to the channel. So quick tour. In this sort of L-shaped corner, we've got a whole bunch of pallet racking and stuff like that. So this is where we're basically storing all the parts for all the builds. We've got some hexagon lighting to put up. We've got, you know, everything in between, all the suspension. We've got powder coated bits and pieces, mechanical gear, driveline stuff, and everything in between. This is our little chill out zone, podcast corner, if you will, drinks, fridge, etc. The dream here is to basically two things. One is have an interview style podcast space, which is just comfortable. And two is to have somewhere for me and the boys to hang out, drink some beers and that sort of thing when we're not filming and we're just having fun and working on the cars. It's a 12 by 9 meter shed, I think, so plenty of space. Obviously, we've got the Q bus here taking up a fair bit of room. In the center space here, this is where we're pretty much going to be working on most cars that are short-term projects or short-term mods happening, things that can come in and out, because behind you guys is the only roller door in and out of here. We're going to be putting hexagon lights up here on the roof. Big shout out to Sammy Scott, who put all the wiring and stuff in this shed for us. Been huge. This is sort of our workspace, I guess, where we've got all our SP tools fit out. They were nice enough to send us the biggest setup you've ever seen in your freaking life. It's absolutely epic. We've got our banner, we've got our workbench, we've got a whole bunch of bits and pieces, tool trolley. Over in this corner, we've got another bench and we've got our TD42. We're just waiting for the GQ to be back rolling and driving so that we can dump that motor into it. The big 80 series over here in the disrespected corner. This is just sort of hanging out, waiting for its next outing. We keep this thing clean, on charge. We run it once a week, make sure it stays happy. And then up in this far corner, we've got some heavy, bulky storage. We've got a pallet of gear that we're sending out to our boy Dylan, all the GQ suspension that was in the bus, new diffs, wheels and tires for that, and everything in between. So this is the shed. It is hot, it is sweaty, it is humid, but it's mine. And that is what is epic about this. And to be able to have space for all the boys to come and work on projects, to be able to actually do DIY bits and pieces to cars, for Max to come and help us out with projects now that he's working for himself. Absolutely epic, absolutely massive. That pretty much brings us to the end of not just the episode, but the year. 2024, you were everything. Dad's still sick. We lost my nan. We had highs, we had lows. The family's growing literally. The family of cars is growing literally. This year has just been massive, and it wouldn't have been anything without you guys out there. So hopefully you've enjoyed everything you've seen on the channel this year, and hopefully you guys love this and are here for 2025, because trust me, we're only just getting started. Anyway, guys, as always, like, subscribe, comment, share this around, and we'll see you not just next Thursday, but next year.